In the Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor communities, it goes without saying that the Nemesis system has been completely mishandled by Warner Brothers. They have the exclusive access to this game-changing system, and yet they choose not to use it. This system could literally turn a game from being non-profitable into being a AAA masterpiece. But let's just say for a second that we live in a world where Warner Brothers don't put one of their most valuable gaming assets in a vault, locked away from everyone else. Imagine for a second that they actually want their games to do well, that they actually want their games to make money. Imagine they added the Nemesis system into their very popular Batman franchise. More specifically, into an Arkham Knight Batman game. Well, I hadn't really given it too much thought until I came across this image right here. In this image, you can see all of the different factions that exist in the latest Batman game. Immediately, I began making comparisons between this image, the factions in it, and the different orc tribes in Shadow of War. There are 9 tribes in total. When an orc belongs to a certain tribe, this will affect how they look, the abilities they have, and how they decorate their fortress. Each of these different tribes adds a unique flavor to Middle-earth and the orcs that you will encounter. It works perfectly with the Nemesis system and ensures that there is a huge variety of different orc combinations. And whenever you look at the different enemy factions in Batman, you can see how the Nemesis system could easily transfer over, turning tribes of orcs into factions of thugs. How amazing would it be to be fighting the Joker along with his gang of bodyguards? The Joker's weakened you down, you've only got 1 hit left in you. And then suddenly, a small runty goon covered in face paint and green hair from the back comes forward. He lands the finishing blow, causing Batman to use his grapple hook at a last-ditch effort to escape. The Joker, amazed by one of his goons' performances, promotes him there on the spot, giving him a new look and a barrage of weapons. The lowly henchman then gets promoted to the next level. In Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor, the orcs go from unnamed grunts to captains, to war chiefs, and then to overlords. Each of these orcs also has a built-in ranking system, common, epic, and legendary. There's actually something similar to this in the Gotham Knights game. You can see that this is Mr. Freeze's henchmen at their different levels. Warner Brothers is already implementing similar things into their Batman games. You might be thinking, well, that's great in Shadow of War. Whenever Talion dies to an orc, he just resurrects himself using Celebrimbor. I'm not necessarily saying Batman should die for this to happen. I'm saying that if there's a goon or a thug around the area that lands a few good hits on him and survives the encounter, that goon then gets promoted. This was actually a concept in Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, but it got removed for Shadow of War. Even if a random orc was just around you when you were killed, that orc could then be promoted and become a captain. If we're going off the Gotham Knights game, whenever one of them is beaten down and knocked out, you can just swap to another one while they recover. But this also doesn't need to be super realistic. I mean, it is a video game. They just need to take the next step and implement the full Nemesis system. I'm not a programmer. I know that probably isn't an easy thing to do, but I would like to think that it would definitely be worth it. I mean, it would turn the next Batman game into a completely new experience. It would turn Gotham into an ever-evolving hellscape. Imagine having your own Nemesis hunting you down across the map. I mean, you don't have to, because you've probably played Shadow of War or Shadow of Mordor. I mean, there are 16 different factions here. That is 16 different unique types of enemies. You may have noticed that I've been playing Shadow of War solidly for the last 2 years. I've just hit 500 hours in the game. And the game still surprises me with new dialogue, new types of crazy orcs.
My words! You took my words!
New names for the orcs and new looks. So you can only imagine the sheer variety of thugs that could exist in a Nemesis system Batman game. There's a Lunatics faction, which gives me the idea about shaming in Shadow of War. Talion's able to shame orcs down so that they lower their level. This leaves a permanent scar on the orc, and it can also leave a permanent scar on their brain, causing them to go deranged or become a maniac. Something similar could be very easily done in the Batman universe. I know that in some iterations of the movies and the comics, Batman would actually brand his enemies. Members of different factions factions, like for instance the Penguin faction, could fight Batman, be beaten, be shamed, and then they could even jump from the Penguin faction to the Lunatics faction if they get shamed hard enough. It's exactly the same mechanic as in the Middle-earth games. You might be thinking, this sounds great, but in the Shadow of War game, you're able to recruit orcs, which is a massive part of the game. It's honestly crazy that whenever a problem like that arises, Batman seems to have all the solutions. Because I do believe that in the same way Celebrimbor uses elven magic, Batman uses fear.
Yeah, what are you? Oh, God.
I believe that he could use his fear to recruit these criminals to turn on their masters. And in the same way that in the Middle-earth games, the orcs can ambush you and betray you,
I'm swine!
Always calling for your lads.
that can also happen here. There could be a fear and intimidation meter that Batman has. Whenever he takes a hit or loses a fight, that goes down. The more it goes down, the more likely it is that any of his followers will turn on him. That is to say, if these traitors don't get found out first by their mob bosses. This can also directly correlate to Batman's level. The stronger he gets, the more fear he can emit. In the same way that you're not able to recruit an orc unless they're the same level or lower than you.
Woo woo! Woo!
There are even more similarities when you look at the different types of weapons used in the Batman game. They have toxic fire, stun, electricity, and freeze. Each of the thugs has a chance for this to be added to their weapon and moveset whenever they're promoted. In the same way that in Shadow of War the orcs can have cursed, fire, or poison weapons. Honestly, the more I look into this and the further along we get in this video, I am just seeing that all that's missing from some of these games is literally the Nemesis system. They should just do it. Just do it, Warner Brothers. Stop messing around. Put it in your next game. You'll make a ton of money. I don't know why you don't do it. Why is it just in your vault? Talion and Batman are basically the same person here, alright? Just do it. So let's talk about for a second the cancellation of the upcoming Wonder Woman game and the destruction of Monolith Studios. Now, the Wonder Woman game was announced in 2021, and it was cancelled earlier this year along with Monolith being shut down. There's a number of reasons for this happening. I think one of the big reasons is probably because the Suicide Squad game lost them 200 million. Obviously, with Monolith shutting down, everyone is very terrified that the Nemesis system is now going to be locked away for what seems like probably another decade. When this news broke, I actually wasn't that disappointed or sad. And that is because there had already been reports that the Nemesis system wasn't even going to be in the Wonder Woman game. Apparently they were having massive setbacks in developing it. And even more concerning, the entire leadership team that were responsible for the two original Lord of the Rings games had already jumped ship and left the studio. They apparently wanted to work on a new IP that would flush out the Nemesis system even more, and Warner Brothers being Warner Brothers just simply didn't go for it, you know? They don't really like to go for anything unless it's already an established IP. Boring! So apparently from 2024 onwards, they had already changed the game from being a Nemesis Shadow of War style game into more of a sort of God of War experience. What's interesting here is that the developer being interviewed said that it was going to be more of a sort of reverse Nemesis system, where you befriend and become allies with, I guess, different heroes and different soldiers.
What the f*** is this piece of shit?
I don't really know any characters in the Wonder Woman franchise, you know? All I know is Gal Gadot's amazing acting.
I need you to give me the stone. What happened to it?
Get this woman an Oscar right now. So if you are going to be sad about anything, I wouldn't be sad for the Wonder Woman game. It sounded like it was going to be a complete mess. What I am more sad about is this unknown, undeveloped IP that the original developers of the Nemesis system wanted to create. And because the executives at Warner Brothers just wouldn't take a chance, wouldn't take a risk. I mean, to be honest, I don't think it would have been much of a risk. Having a game solely developed around the Nemesis system sounds amazing. So, yeah. In making this video, I've gone from being sad that Monolith has been shut down and slightly sad that the Wonder Woman has been shut down to now I'm just straight up depressed and angry at Warner Brothers. But I suppose there is still hope. Obviously, the original developers of the system are probably scattered to different studios now. If Warner Brothers want to recover this, they're going to have to get them all together. I mean, I think that would be best, and hopefully focus it on a new Batman game. Or this unknown original IP that they were going to work on. God, I need some ice cream or something, or I need to go and kill some hog-lick orcs. Alright, I'll be okay, guys. Thanks for watching the video, guys. This is just my initial thoughts on this issue, or this idea. I definitely think there are many more things that we could cover. Similarities and potential game attributes that could easily transfer over between the game franchises. I would love to make another part in this, and I would love it if anyone had any thoughts on this, anything else we could add, anything else I could cover in another part. And yeah, it would be good to get your ideas down in the comments, lads. So I guess leave a comment and like the video. Also, if you like Shadow of War, if you like Shadow of Mordor, if you like the idea for this game as a concept, then I suppose follow me. Yeah. Cheers, guys.